Hello and welcome to Tech 101. I'm Eric Hesseldahl, Senior Technology Writer here at BusinessWeek.com. This is our weekly technology podcast where we answer your questions about technology. So keep the questions coming. Tech101 at BusinessWeek.com is our email address, and as usual, I promise to try and answer your questions in plain English. Our question this week comes from someone with no name. He identifies himself only as Overloaded. So let's go ahead and get to his question, and I assume it's a he, and see what he has to say. Dear Tech 101, I have too many passwords to keep track of for all my online accounts, PINs for ATM and credit cards, and so on. Is there any way to keep track of them all? Signed, Overloaded. There really is no ideal solution, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a few tricks I've used over the years and some things that have worked for me. Maybe they'll work for you. Now, first things first. I wouldn't get into the habit of putting ATM numbers and that sort of thing, PIN numbers especially, on a computer. I just wouldn't get in the habit of doing that. ATM PIN numbers and credit card PIN numbers and things like that, you really should work really hard to commit them to memory. Now, account numbers and other things like that, which you may need from time to time, those sorts of things you might want to store on a computer or, as I will show you shortly, on a handheld device, but you want to take certain precautions. You don't just want them in a text file that anybody can come to your computer and open and write down all your information. You want to take some steps to protect it. But there are some tools that will help you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a few things right now. On the Mac here, there's a program that comes with the Mac. It's called Keychain Access. And one of the things that it will do on the Mac as you're using the Safari web browser, and say you've got an email account that you use from time to time on Yahoo or Gmail, or perhaps the username for your online bank. It will record your usernames and passwords, and then it'll also store them in an encrypted format so that before you can get access to them, you have to put in a single password, one single password to remember. Everything else takes care of itself. Now, you have to use the Safari browser to take advantage of this. I'm going to show you some tricks with Firefox in a few minutes, but it's a great trick. And one feature that I particularly like is something called Secure Notes. Every now and then there will be something that doesn't quite fit the forms that Apple has created for Keychain Desktop, and so Keychain Access rather. And so I just type out a little note here, and I've just created one. It's called the Tech 101 Secure Note, and there you see there's a password in there, but you can't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and show what the password is, and I'm going to put in my password, and I will allow once, and there you can see it. Username Tech101, password Swordfish 2007. Aren't real usernames or passwords really, so you don't have to memorize them, but there you go. That's one example, one good way to, on the Mac anyway, to keep track of some of your passwords, someplace where you can get at them regularly. So that's the Mac. Let's talk about Windows for a second. Now, I like to use Firefox browser on Windows. And one of the things it will do here, and I'm going to demonstrate by signing into this Google account, it's remembered my username. And so now I'm going to type in password. And now that I've done it, you see it brought up this dialog box here that offers very helpfully to remember the username and the password. So the next time I come back to this site, it will fill in those two fields over there. Now, Firefox does this very well. It's actually one of my favorite features. You also have the choice here. You see it says, remember, never for this site or